Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 261. Matt Lawrence.
Heck yeah, it is.
Adrian Petty.
Yo.
I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Welcome back, Adrian.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. Some of the top stories we got for this week. Cyberpunk 2077 is getting multiplayer after launch. The Steam library overhaul is coming in, I think, this month, September. And Remedy, me and Matt talked about this last week. Remedy is working on a fix for Control's performance issues. And Tomb Raider sequel is also confirmed.
Tomb Raider.
The new one.
Ah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I'll get people's hopes up.
I know. Yeah. What's new, guys?
Go ahead, Dreamcast.
Excuse me.
That's a good nickname.
I don't mind it either. I have a Dreamcast.
It was the shirt that's...
Well, what's weird is actually I bought a Dreamcast used, and the guy talked me down, and he sold it to me.
What?
He had. I'm trying to remember. It was years ago, so I might have some of the numbers wrong. But I think he had 150 on the listing, and it was like a bunch of games, the console, 2 things, like whatever. And so I was like, I'll give you 120. And then when I got there, like when I physically showed up, he's like, I'll just take 60. And I was like, okay. And I like even mentioned, I was like, it's like 120, right? And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, I think that's too much for something so old. I was like, okay.
Some people are like nice about that kind of stuff.
I mean, that's fine, but that's weird considering he listed it at 150. But I mean, that's fine to me. Like, I'm not trying to talk the guy down for it. I'll take it.
He may have had it for a while too, and it was probably just wants it gone, right?
Probably.
There it comes to the point where
you just don't want it.
You need it out of your house, yeah.
Yeah.
But don't want to throw it out.
Exactly.
I feel weird. I've bought like a bunch of stereo equipment, like old stereo equipment.
Yeah.
And some of it's broken, and I don't have the skills to fix it. And I could take it to repair, but it's like my other option is to throw it out, and it's like
you don't want to throw it out.
I don't want to throw it out because there's only so many of these things left.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think I gave you one of the broken ones, right?
It's probably
one works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's probably just like a piece of capacitor that you need on, like a single piece of board.
It can be fixed.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these things fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But I opened the one up because when I bought it, it said it just needs new belts, and that's a pretty easy fix. But I opened it up, and it's chaos in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't, and it's like careful of electric shock and stuff, and I was like, I can't handle this. So,
yeah, 'cause some of those capacitors can hold charge for a long time.
Yeah.
So you gotta be damn careful by them.
Speaking of CRTs, those scare me.
Those are dangerous.
You have to discharge them.
Yeah, those are dangerous. Yeah,
and it's nuts.
Yeah, they're real
You
dangerous.
have to like ground the thing, and you have to ground. I see people use a
for what?
a Phillips screwdriver.
A CRT.
There's a tube that connects that shoots all the electrons in or whatever it does, right?
Yeah.
That has to be removed, and that's
if you're doing
very
what?
dangerous.
If you're doing what? If you're opening it up?
If you're restoring a computer with a CRT.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And so
I thought you meant just like moving a television. Like, I figured you could just unplug those fuckers.
No.
No, but if you need to open it, it's
Yeah.
dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
You still adjusting our microphones over there? Yeah. Well, Jesus.
But anyway, yeah. And apparently they make it like a crack sound too if they still have a charge in them. So as you're like wiggling that thing off, you'll get like a static shock, and then you'll have discharged it. But if they're so old, a lot of times it's like there's no charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they scare me still. I wouldn't work on one. So what else is new, Matt?
What have I been playing this week? We did a little bit of 76, and then I was trying to help Marty with he's doing a new camp build, so I was trying to help him out with that. And then I was gonna do some Gears of War 2.
Oh, yeah.
But Nate was online, so we decided to do a little bit of Battlefield. And I still clean up in that game for whatever reason. It's like I'm pretty bad at shooters, but like Nate and I always clean up. Like I think the one match I went like 30 and like 3. So I don't know, but yeah, like it's just one of those games I guess with muscle memory. Like it's so much that like you remember how you and Aaron and I used to play it on PS4? Well, I also have it on Xbox One. And like I think I'm level 70 or 80 on both. So
yeah,
like
Battlefield 1 was fun.
It's damn fun, yeah. But that's really all I've been doing, more or less just a bunch of multiplayer stuff. That's been on my agenda.
Adriano?
What's up?
You've had a month. What have you been doing?
Hearthstone.
Damn it.
Gran Turismo. Got really back into Overwatch. Like I hit Overwatch hard.
Well, the new season started, right?
Is that new season?
Your new favorite
and
system.
The rule queue, which is
Have you been seeing anything online about it? Like, are people happy with it?
For the most part, people are happy. You're gonna have people who have now. There are some characters you just never fucking see anymore. Like Anna's
kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't see Anna's anymore, though they're virtually gone.
Well, Marty brought up the point too that all the barriers on the field, Anna's kind of really difficult to play now.
Luckily, the Pharahs are still pretty in there. Problem is I barely play as Pharah anymore because, as I was describing to you and Marty, the incentive system. I never get offered loot boxes to play as damage, so I don't. And now my Roadhog and Mercy playthroughs are skyrocketing. Other than that, I have been playing. I've been trying to fucking finish Final Fantasy, but I can't.
This is the one on your phone, or
yeah.
I thought you were
the one you screwed yourself over.
Yeah,
right?
stuck.
Are you still stuck? Like,
man, I'm stuck. Like my build. Like I said, like I am under. I built a really, really weird party for the game.
Yeah.
I figured I'd just overstock on heals. And that got me to the final boss.
Yeah.
I cannot seem to get past the final boss. And there's no fucking way I'm restarting this game. And then, I feel like we did some Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah, we're almost done Sea of Thieves. That's a good one. Yeah, we did like 2 or 3 missions.
Man, that one night.
Last mission.
That one fucking night.
Oh my! Okay,
shit.
literally the story.
Go ahead, explain it.
You want me to explain it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say
I'm too rattled.
So you were hiding, or we were getting the last part of this mission done, and you were in a cave still, or something like that. Like you were still on the island, and we had like gotten all the treasure from the island, including like the Stormbreaker stone or whatever, one of the stones for the mission. And so we were like, you had the stone in your hand, you were still on the island. We had a bunch of treasure gathered on the beach.
So Ryan, for record, if you die, the mission is still good. You need whatever piece of that mission that is needed to progress. Mm-hmm. So if that thing just gets tossed overboard in the bottom of the ocean, like
that's it. Yeah,
so like you can die over and over again, but as long as that like in our case that gem is still there, we can still finish it.
Wow.
So continue.
So like you're on the island. There's a bunch of treasure on the shore because we had like cleared out the island.
All my cooked meats.
All your cooked meats are on the ship. Like we have treasure on the ship, treasure on the shore, or whatever. But luckily we had already emptied once that night. So anyway, so I literally come walking out onto the beach, and I was talking about it, and I literally see, like, there's a cliff, and I literally see a PvP flag come in, and I'm just like, players, again, the ship! Player ship! And, like, they just start firing, so I'm like, well, you hid. Like, hid on the island.
No, I was on the island, and I had the gem in a chest.
Yeah.
I said, fuck this. I put down the chest, I opened up, I just took the gem, and I left the open chest, and I just booked it. I literally just ran into the jungle, and I hid.
And then I like they were destroying our ship, and I was like, okay, well, hopefully they just think it's me because we've like the 1 or 2 player ship. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed a gunpowder barrel, swam underneath their ship, so they didn't see me because I was swimming the whole time, and I lit it on fire and detonated it. So then they took off. I respawned in the south. I tried to get back to Adriano, but since they have the PvP flag on, I could see them on the map. They found me again and killed me. But what ended up happening was I ended up, like the first time when they like found me again, I took them all the way to the most southern point of the map. So I spawned north of them. I then like quickly flew by, grabbed Adriano, screwed the treasure, grabbed Adriano, and we went up like super north. We just had to go east to get like cash in. We went super north and looped around a hurricane so they couldn't see us. And we looped all the way around a hurricane and came back.
We used a hurricane to block our side, and it worked. Because the problem is because every like twice when Matt was trying to come back to get me the first time, they were just hanging around. Mm-hmm. They knew I was on the island because mermaids were hanging around the island, and that means that there's a player there without a ship. So they figured that Matt was coming back for me, and I found like the crevice, like I'm just kind of just sitting there. But this fucking mermaid, I just see him just like floating in the water, and I'm just like, oh fuck! So finally, like, I see Matt's like, all right, I'm coming up, and I see this ship in the distance. I'm like, is that you? He's like, yeah, that's me. So like, I'm just like desperately swimming out, get on the ship, and we just took off. But we ended up finishing it. And then when we got back to the Daggertooth, there was another player ship there.
Oh yep.
And we were like, fuck. We were just like, I made Matt go in front of me, and like if there's any shit that went down, I was gonna let Matt fucking take it, and I was just gonna take off again.
Fucking crazy night.
Yeah.
But that's level 9 of 10. So we have one last mission.
And then I rebought and downloaded and installed Resident Evil 6 on PC because I really want to continue the RE franchise, and that is the one that I've started several times in the past and never finished.
So what's
Because
the plan now?
Because it is a bad fucking game.
What's the plan now to get through it?
So the game is actually 4 sub games divided up. You can never get the full story from playing one campaign. You have to play all 4 campaigns. And every time I had started that game, I had started over.
Is that a completionist thing though? Like if you played just through one character, do you get credits and the game is done?
Yeah.
And like you just want to see the other sides of the game.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, like every campaign is a set of credits, but
Yeah.
like
figuratively
again, like it's a whole thing you're supposed to do. So every time I played 360, PS4, I've restarted on PS4. I've gone back and I've done the first 2 campaigns, the Leon and the Chris campaign. And I'm like, every time I get to the Jake campaign, I'm just like, I don't want to do this, and I like delete it, and then I re-download and I restart it and play it all over again. I'm like, fuck, I can't do this. I can't.
Do you replay all the missions?
Yeah.
Why not just play the ones you need?
So this time, I forced myself. I said, okay, I'm going to go right into Jake. And I went into Jake's campaign, and I started with that.
Okay.
And then I have Ada's campaign afterwards, and then I can finally move on to RE Revelations 2.
So how many hours do you estimate is left?
Each campaign is about 9 missions, and each mission is about 9. Each mission is about an hour, so about about 18. They're a long
Holy
game.
Christ.
Yeah, like each campaign is a game in itself. Like they're not slow, or they're not small. So I'd say 18 to 20 hours.
Holy Christ!
And that's only half the game. And you can co-op it with somebody. You guys want to co-op it?
I think that's that one that I.
It's not a good game. RE6 is easily one of the worst Resident Evil games ever made.
My god!
It is a fucking bad game. It controls like shit. Performances are really bad. One of them I'm pretty sure is not Nolan North. Who's the other one? Troy Baker. Yeah. Troy Baker is like one of the like jarhead guys, so it's like I can't take him seriously. But that's where I'm at. I feel like I played something else, but I don't remember.
Well, I finished Control, which I beat under a week, I think.
How's that running on your PlayStation?
PlayStation Pro, you definitely get hiccups and definitely frame rate hits, but I noticed it more when me and Matt were streaming it on his launch day PS4.
However, with that being said, I didn't notice a performance hit.
You didn't notice
mostly because I think that's just how games perform on a PS4 regular.
Oh, yeah. I might be used to more performance.
Yeah.
Because you even said like your Fallout runs not as well, right?
Definitely doesn't run as well.
I don't have frame rate drops on my Fallout.
Mine absolutely chugs like a lot of the time.
Well, it mainly happens when there's a lot of most of the environment is destructible. Like everything bursts into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah,
you can completely destroy a desk.
I'm surprised it doesn't crash the PlayStation.
Well, the frame rate goes down to like I think people recorded it as low as like 10 frames per second.
Yeah.
So it gets pretty bad, and you have these enemies that have a lot of like this kind of flowing particle effects coming off of them. Your powers kind of have some sort of stuff, and a lot of stuff is happening, and that's when you really get the frame rate drops. But overall, the game as a whole is fantastic.
I heard it's just like I hear other people talk about it, and some like it just gets to the point where they don't even have words to describe it because they love it that much.
Yeah, and the world is so complete. I think that's one of the.
I'm really looking forward to playing this game.
It's probably what Remedy's best at is making those fleshed out worlds that. Ton of things. I don't normally read a lot of
in-game shit.
In-game like notes and stuff. I've read them all in this one.
Yeah, I read them when I come across them.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to go out of my way.
And in this game, I would recommend reading them because it either helps you understand what you're doing or where you are or what you need to do.
So how's this is what I heard somebody else talk about this. How's navigating the world, or in this case, the building?
It's tough at times
because you're using actual signage. Like there's no UI navigation, right? It's all literal signs on the walls.
There's a map, but to navigate within the building, you need to use the actual signs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're actually looking at the air, like, oh, this way is this, and you have to go.
Yeah, and for the most part, it's good. There's a couple times where like I needed some more direction, but most of the time you you use the signs. It's like a normal building, and you just this department's that way, and you go that way, and you find it. But the map is pretty bad, I would say. Not only does it have a bunch of issues where it literally doesn't come up when you bring it up. Matt, you saw this. You hit the map.
Oh yeah, it didn't come up.
Just the locations like show up.
Oh really?
And
that's probably your PlayStation's fault.
No, like you were just saying you did it on yours, right?
My Pro happens, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Literally, I'm sitting there for like maybe 30 seconds before it pops in.
That's fucking.
I mean, that is a bug. It sounds like though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But even that map is a little difficult. It's hard to tell levels. So it's all pretty much flat, but there's some areas that overlap, and it's hard to tell which.
I'm surprised they didn't implement a 3D building, like a 3D map.
They could barely load the 2D map.
I'm gonna say they couldn't even load the JPEG.
Like fuck, like that was such a thing for the PlayStation 4. It's like, oh, we're gonna introduce 3D mapping, and like some early games like Arkham Knight had. I'm like, oh, like this could be really useful, like especially when you get into like the nuances of a building.
What was it? I think it might have been The Division, or what game was I playing? Anytime you brought up the map, the fans would kick on like really hard on the PS4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you're loading both the game and the background, and then you have to load this
that sounds like The Division 2.
This interactive map on top of it, and it's just like.
Well, my PlayStation fans always my console's on is always just.
No, not mine. No. But yeah, if you're ever gonna play Control, it's gonna be, and it plays well on PC. Apparently,
that's where I want to play it.
Yeah.
But you know what's stopping me from playing it?
What?
We're all pointing at each other for the
Quantum
listener.
Break.
What?
I want to play that first.
That had performance issues too. I think it's just.
But that we don't know whether that was because it was streaming the video.
No, but I mean separately, even just in the game.
Oh,
yeah.
Like that I actually want to play first. I have it on Steam actually. Like I could play it now. I don't know how long would you? Not counting the episodes. So ignoring the how many? Okay.
It's a big chunk. It's pretty long.
See,
I'd say more than 20 hours.
What?
Or around 20 hours.
What? Seriously?
That's the normal size.
No,
linear
shorter
game.
games. Come on, developers, shorter games. One sitting games.
I just got the trophy I just got the platinum trophy in 76, and I also just rolled over 300 hours.
We're moving into an era where games are getting longer, not shorter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good point, Matt. I also platinumed the game, so that was fun.
Your trophies in the mail.
I mean, I was laughing.
But I hope this gets a sequel, although I know Remedy doesn't do a lot of sequels.
Well, they did Alan Wake's American Nightmare.
It was not really a sequel as much as just kind of a big expansion.
They should do a combo game. They should
literally
bring.
They don't call it a sequel. So
Huh?
They don't call it a sequel.
Yeah.
They talk about doing an Alan Wake sequel.
They should do a Control Quantum Break Alan Wake crossover game. Now that'd be something.
There are some Easter eggs. So.
I know the actor from Alan Wake is in this. He has a supporting role.
The main actor?
Yeah, the guy who plays Alan Wake.
Oh, I thought you meant I was thinking Quantum Break. I'm like, I didn't see what's his name. And
Sean Astin.
But the guy who plays Alan Wake is Alan Wake based off of his actual look?
I believe so. Yeah. I think he obviously changed his.
Okay.
Like he did what actors do and changed their look to play the part, but he is apparently in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I think there is planned DLC for this game, which I will probably definitely pick up, and I will hopefully play.
Do you think, based on the game and without saying anything, do you think the DLC is going to be something that's going to be post-game, or do you think it's going to be something that they just rework into the narrative? Like, is it going to be like another part of the wing that just magically opens up? Like,
well, that's the thing. The house you're in
is ever changing.
It changes.
Yeah.
Not while you're playing it, but like the lore behind the house, it changes. So they could just say, "Oh, this thing, appeared. Go investigate it," and it could take place before or after. I don't think it really matters.
How dangerous is this place? Like, you show up to work and you're like, I have about a 20% chance of getting out of here tonight, or
if your name's Matt Lawrence, it's a 0% chance of getting
0% chance. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there, go crazy, and that'll be it.
If you work in the, I think it's called the Panopticon.
The Panopticon.
There you go.
It's where they store the altered items.
Okay.
That's a dangerous job, apparently.
Then how dangerous?
And I would imagine research is also a dangerous job.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but
I don't know what this does.
Purchasing's pretty safe, though.
But there's a lot of just bureaucratic jobs in there too.
Capital and finance and
it depends what your job is.
I'll tell you right now, if I was a financier, I would not be working in that place.
This isn't a spoiler because it was in some of the gameplay that they released. It shows you in the Panopticon, and you go by a room, and it's like got this glass and all these cameras and stuff, and inside this like walled off room that's all closed up is a fridge. Okay, and there's a guy sitting in front of the fridge, and he has to stare at the fridge. Constantly stare at the fridge, or else the fridge will do something.
or the fridge will do something.
And because all hell's broken loose, his shift change is not coming in to replace him. Yeah. And so he's like begging you for help.
Oh, it's fantastic. There's got to be a way to get that guy out from that fridge.
It's part of a side quest, so.
Can he blink?
Fuck.
Can he
God, I
blink?
gotta play this game.
I don't know. But yeah, there's a ton of little stuff like that is amazing in this.
Apparently, like some of the powers are from side quests. Like you can just skip a side quest, not get that power, and just continue on the game. And you just never know.
Yeah, I think you get all like the main ones you need, but yeah, there's some side ones you could completely just skip. But all the powers are cool too, though. Except the only one I didn't use is like you can take over the enemies. I don't really care for that kind of stuff in games, except for kind of Mordor. But controlling enemies, I don't really care for doing much.
You know what's great in Arkham Knight? I would rig the medics, the backpacks, and then I would knock another guy unconscious and wait for the medic to go revive him, and then the medic would just get executed and they just fall. And then then I'd rig the next medic, and then he'd try to go revive him, and then there's just like a chain, just daisy chain it all the way down. That was fun.
And I've also played a little bit of Gears 4 because I need to finish that before Gears 5.
Yeah.
So.
It's weird that I'm the one that's like caught up with the franchise.
Gears,
and you guys are the ones trying to...
I've never played Gears, though. Like, even when it came out, I never did.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yeah, I just kind of play Gears out of my gaming obligation, not because I really...
I
can't wait to play Gears.
Yeah, it's fun to just literally zone out and shoot things, especially if you're couch co-op. Like, those are games that me and my brother played for the 360.
And this one has 3-player couch co-op.
There you go. 3-player couch co-op.
I believe so.
Holy shit! I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the systems can handle that. Rendering 3 screens.
But it's developed by a studio only making games for Xbox. They usually can get more performance out of.
Oh yeah,
because
they know all the tricks.
And they got Microsoft's backing. Yeah, so.
In the first Gears, if you know how like if you're playing single player, you get like blood splatter on your screen, so it's splatter. If you're playing co-op and you look at your buddy when he has blood splatter, it's literally like a transparent little window in front of him, so there's like blood splatter like in front of him.
Sorry, say it again.
So when you're playing like by yourself, you'll get blood splatter on your screen, and it just looks like blood splatter on your screen. But when like you're playing couch co-op and the same blood splatter would come up, if you look at your buddy, if he has blood splatter, there's literally a transparent like blood spatter window in front of him that's like moving with him.
Because that's how they cheese it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they didn't think about that when.
They probably did, but they were like, "What are we going to do?"
Otherwise, you could probably hide it, right?
But then there would be no blood splatter in co-op.
No, you hide it from the other players.
Oh, the other player, yeah, probably didn't think of it.
It might be tough though to render that out in real time though. Like to tell it to render for this player and then to unrender for that player.
Yeah.
Like you might not be able to. The system might not be able to do. I would sooner rather just remove it for co-op. I would say just don't do blood splatter.
Yeah, because I don't think I would notice. I would be like,
just turn it off.
I watched a video on some of the things game devs have to do, and we just think, oh, it's computer based, so you just go in and change it. You can change whatever you want, and it's not that simple. There's 1,000 different things operating on one thing, so if you change one thing of that 1,000 things, it all screws up.
Oh yeah.
And so changes are hard. Yeah. So we don't know, but I feel like you can hide it from another camera.
No, it'll break.
But things you have to simultaneously tell it to render to one and not the other. Like that's where I think you would like trying to say show to that, but don't show to this.
No, but me and Aaron were playing Dead Space 3, and there's a scene where we both see separate things.
You know what I think they're doing in that situation? I think honest to God what they're doing. I think they're replicating the room twice. And there's 2 copies of each person in 2 separate rooms.
Well, no, of course, because we both are playing on different consoles, so the room is being generated on separate consoles. Yeah, and it says load this one on this console, load this one on the other console.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
They're not on top of each other, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is you guys are actually your characters are in 2 physical different rooms, and the character model that you see as the other player is just probably a mirror of the other actions. You guys, both these characters are actually in that space.
Right, you're on the same console. Yeah. All right.
That's the difference.
Let's hop into the stories. Cyberpunk 2077, probably one of the most anticipated games coming out in the future. They also now announced multiplayer, which was surprising.
I have not watched any of the gameplay. I've only watched that one cinematic trailer. Other than that, I don't know anything about this game.
But you still have interest in it?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do. Yeah.
Now, they haven't really given us details on what the multiplayer will be. We don't know if it's like PvP or if it's co-op or something. I'm kind of hoping for co-op, but I feel like it's going to be more of a PvP thing.
It's going to be you'll be playing Keanu Reeves.
Well, he might not be real.
What?
Okay.
I think he's in the head of the guy.
So he's in the Matrix.
Sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
But what would you guys want multiplayer from this?
I'm going to say co-op, but only because I have no other.
Well, something interesting was announced earlier, like before this, about this game, where they said all the cutscenes are first person. Maybe it's for co-op reasons.
All the cutscenes are first person. From what I heard, everything is first person.
Well, you're not even allegedly some of the cutscenes would be third person, or they would be like like a scene.
At E3, they showed us gameplay of third person views of the character.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't watch it.
But so like they said, I'm pretty sure I read a headline that said that all the cutscenes are now in first person, something along those lines. So what that would play into is maybe it'd be two players playing, but lore wise it's actually only one player, and then it would take you in through the eyes of the one and just play the one guy's.
See shit like that I don't like.
But if it's just for fun,
I don't know if they are going to do. You can customize your character. This game's all about body modifications. It's like if you never get to see your character, what's the point of?
Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I've only seen a headline. Like I'm not really sure exactly what the implications are. Like it's possible that it's just an option now or something.
Maybe.
But
speaking of customizations, though, they also talked about how, in RPGs when you get like a really good stat-wise like piece of armor or weapon, but it doesn't look great, and you have to wear it just because it's better.
Yeah,
I guess they're looking for a fix to that, and I'd imagine it would be different than the typical. You can apply the skin of this weapon onto that weapon.
That reminds me to ask you guys something at the end. Remind me about Destiny. But continue.
Okay, but so I'm curious as to how they apparently are looking into fixing that problem. Because how else do you do it other than just a normal skin over top of something?
Yeah,
it would have to be because it's like a body mod, right?
Unless you can choose different styles of like a new item you get.
Well, I was wondering if it would, because they're mods in that world, would it be like a modular piece? So like everything has, like the effect of a mod is always like a modular piece, and that modular piece is like a universal connector that connects to all pieces of gear. Like in terms of like a consumerized body mod
but I imagine
society.
I imagine this goes further than that, like the clothing and stuff too. Unless it's all just body mods, I don't know.
Maybe.
But at that point, they're all going to look bad to me. So I don't know.
Unless they're just going to do that standard system, they just don't have it yet, and that's what they mean.
But they kind of talked about how they were saying we're looking to solve this. The solution's already there if it's just the skin thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe they want a lore thing. Like maybe they want a lore reason. And that's what they mean by solve. They don't want it to be like cheesy where it's just like, well, I'm just wearing this.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next, how do you guys feel about the look of your Steam library?
Of our what?
Matt doesn't give a shit. He just types he just searches everything by text, and then hits enter.
I don't even know what you just said.
Steam library.
How do you like the look of your Steam library?
Oh, I just do it by text. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, there overhaul is coming this month. This comes to us from Polygon. The new Steam library layout that gives you more ways to organize your games. It will help players stay up to date with the games and events in their library and give users improved tools to keep their games organized. The biggest part of the update is the new landing page that includes quick access to game updates and events, recent games you've played, games your friends are playing, and your own collections, all pulled together by a new visual layout. And this comes from Valve designer Alden Kroll. The goal here is overall just to help players find the next game that they might want to play with friends. So Steam looks pretty old to me.
It's been a long time since they've done a big upgrade.
And even when they updated the store, it still looked old.
It has a Windows 7 gloss and like Windows Vista glossy look.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
It's like the whole world's gotten more simplistic in their design, and Valve's just like, nah.
Well, back then they didn't have a fucking competitor to deal with.
Yeah.
But now...
But the library, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be more integrated with other things. And I don't know if you guys have added like games to your Discord, like just to like the news feed. Like when I open Discord, I have a whole feed of different game updates.
I was actually going to ask about that. I have like I have my like Fallout 76 patch notes get pulled into there, which is nice.
That's right, yeah.
But I don't know how I did that. I think it just did it.
Maybe, but I didn't. I had to go in there and like add favorite games.
I don't add any game to any launcher manually.
No, it's not about adding a game to the launcher.
Oh.
There's literally like a news feed,
Yeah,
almost
it's
like
a
Facebook,
news app.
almost like Facebook or like a news app. Yeah, and you type in, "Oh, I like Fallout 76," and so it will pull from the internet Fallout 76 content. And then I'll type in, "Oh, I want The Witcher," and it will pull like Witcher content.
And it's super handy because I used to go to like IGN to like find when the patch notes were and stuff, and that's a pain in the ass. But like, I mean, I didn't add it, but like this thing actually pulls the patch notes when they come out.
So it sounds like
it's actually the full patch notes. It's not a piece of thing.
No,
saying,
it
go
takes
to
me
this
to the
website to fucking
Bethesda.
look at the full
they're
patch
links.
notes.
They're links.
Yeah,
so
they-
you click on it,
yeah,
and
you
it
click
takes
it.
you to the Bethesda page.
Oh,
Yeah,
fine.
to the official page.
Fine.
You seem disappointed that it was okay.
I figured it would have been the actual patch notes.
It is.
No, but, like right there, like
Oh
if-
no.
like fucking like it pisses me off that you go to look at update history on an app on PlayStation, and it's just like, oh, for patch
Visit,
notes go here.
this, yeah.
How fucking hard is it to put a
Well, that usually occurs on bigger games. Smaller games, it will list the patch notes, but Bethesda has literally pages and pages
Yeah,
of updates.
it's ridiculous.
if I was PlayStation and Xbox, I'd say this system is meant for you to put patch notes in there. You're not allowed to put a link shortcut to send somebody there. You need to copy and paste your fucking text. Literally, Control C,
I
Control
agree
V,
with you. I
put it
agree
in
with
there.
you, yes. How do you check? Are there patch notes on Steam?
I
believe so,
I've
yeah.
never seen them.
I believe
Yeah,
there are.
you have to go into the detail. They're there.
I've even gone into the details. I've never.
Oh, we'll look it up after.
All right, and then speaking of the performance issues, Remedy is apparently working on it, but it sounds like it's going to be harder than they expected. But it's weird. So they must have launched this knowing it didn't run well. They had to have known.
They had to meet they had to meet numbers. They had probably a calendar date they had to hit by, and that was it.
This comes to us from Polygon. Remedy says it's working on a solution to these issues, but they won't be easy to solve. It will take time, and Remedy wants players to know that developers are already hard at work and will have updates in the future. Apparently, PC players are also having some issues with NVIDIA's new breed of RTX graphics cards. According to Remedy, most of these issues will be solved by simply updating the card's drivers.
Or they could just try to turn off ray tracing, see if that works. Because that's probably what it is.
Well, what did they also mention? There's a couple things you could turn off.
Because apparently if you meet the recommended and you do exactly as recommended, apparently it runs fine on PC.
Well,
it's only if you have the ray tracing turned on or if you're under.
If I recall, they have a recommended card without ray tracing and a recommended card with ray tracing. And I think it was the 2060 with ray tracing.
And this is Epic Games exclusive, or is it?
It's on Epic Games. I don't know if it's exclusive. I think it's also somewhere else.
This ray tracing thing is going to be one of these big performance like jumps again, where it's like going to be a pain in the ass to get the hardware to run it.
I forget who had the video, but I watched a really good video on like people are saying that Remedy did ray tracing like the best so far. And it's not like a big list of games, but apparently they did it the best. So I think we're getting to a point where it's going to be better and better.
Apparently, Control is one of the go-to examples to justify the RTX cards.
Yeah, it's really impressive if you watch the video and when they turn it on and off and go through the multiple layers. It's not just ray tracing. There's a bunch of other lighting effects that are amazingly impressive.
Fuck.
But it doesn't have HDR, which are some players.
I thought the color
upset
palette was weird, actually, and I think
that's-
HDR would have helped with that.
Well, there's also a film grain over it, which they said you can turn off to help performance as well. Or they're going to add an update where you can turn that off. Because there is definitely a film grain on it.
Right.
Because I think they're trying to make it look old. The whole like style of Control is kind of.
That might be why it's kind of flat colored.
They
then.
should
Yeah.
put black bars at the top and bottom, and then
Oh,
they don't have to render
Christ.
that part of the screen. Like fucking Evil Within.
I will never forget Evil Within. It's a spoiler, but who cares? That we thought we were done, and then you like went to a door of this facility, and the facility was like maybe 6 floors, and then like the cutscene like pans up, and then it becomes like 300 floors, and all yours. Come on, man!
I was so done with that game by then. But I do want to play the second one though. Oddly enough.
After we beat that first one, I was hurting. I can't do it anymore, man.
I think they're also going to add a camera mode, which is unfortunate that they didn't have that at launch because that game is like prime for pictures.
I don't understand the games like that where they add a bunch of stuff post-launch. It's like, are they expecting a lot of their fan base to actually go back and replay it?
They will. Once that picture thing launches, people will be
absolutely.
in there taking
I'm sure some people will. But
People will go back and replay a game like this just because they want to replay the game.
yeah.
They don't have to.
But they're going to miss the launch buzz. and I think that's where
That's
they,
I mean, they're missing a lot of photos.
it's
like
a
Ryan
misstep
there.
because other games that launch with the camera mode, pictures all over Twitter, all over the
Oh
place.
yeah.
So
1060 or a RX 580, and then the RTX 2060 for ray tracing is the recommended. Hot damn.
the ray tracing is really cool. Once you understand kind of what's going on.
I think I would need to see it in, like, I would have to play a game and see it in action. Like, for me, I don't know life with it, so I'm not.
The best way I can kind of like
afford.
summarize it is like if you have an object in a 3D game, and it kind of just looks like it's floating on top of the surface of what it's sitting on, even though they added shadows and other lighting effects, it still kind of looks like it's floating. Ray tracing really makes it look like it's sitting on top of it, because and things are reflecting the color of things around it. So if you have like a porcelain, let's say a white porcelain vase, right, and it's on like a brown wooden table, that brown will actually reflect light onto the vase.
Yeah,
and it makes it look a lot more realistic.
Somebody, what was the other part? How do they describe it? In Minecraft, but one side of a cube green, but one side of a cube red, and then go look at the adjoining edge that connects the two. And then you'll see, like, apparently the blend together is a perfect example of what.
Yeah, because Minecraft got RTX, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or they're getting an update,
which is probably a good, like, example. Like, that's probably a good thing to test stuff on.
But it's hilarious because of the simplistic nature of it.
But it's a good playground to try it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I was at I work at a school, and I was talking to a 11th grader to try to see what games are popular with the kids nowadays.
Do they uptalk?
What does that mean? No, this kid was fine.
What the hell?
But he said that Minecraft's getting big again. Apparently, making a comeback.
Cool.
Yeah, and Sea of Thieves. He said he also.
Fuck yeah, Sea of Thieves, Matt.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, not this weekend though, because we have to finish off Borderlands.
Yeah,
and not next week because I'm
Borderlands
at the cottage.
You guys got to finally finish that Borderlands.
We finished it, and then they fucking. Here you go. Here's more. Like we did our due diligence.
Oh yeah,
like,
I know.
We
yeah,
fucking did it.
Yeah.
And they said no. We have more.
And Borderlands 3 coming up next week.
Yeah.
What a bloody boring game.
Because right now I'm about to finish the Telltale Borderlands, and there's some major things that happen in that.
But you recovered your save.
Yeah, recover my save. There's some major things that happen in that like, they feel like they should leave those characters and those plot points for a main Borderlands entry. And like, I don't know if you're already ever going to play it or if I should.
I played the first episode.
Okay, yeah. So like, if you get to episode 4, something fairly big happens, and it's like I feel like that should have been left for the main entry. Want me to tell you?
No.
Okay.
Because I'll probably not get to it, but I still have hope that I will.
Okay. So the Adriano syndrome.
Yeah. All right. So a new Tomb Raider, Matt, you were expecting this. You couldn't wait for a new Tomb Raider sequel to be announced.
No.
MGM has set a release date and chosen a director. This is an exclusive from Deadline.
And they're going to satisfy all race and groups out there, and they're going to recast Lara Croft.
No, it's
actually?
It's Alicia Vikander.
Oh, was that the same person from before?
Yeah. But the director is now Ben Wheatley.
Who
is I think he,
every single name so far. Who? What?
Yeah, who's that?
I think he directed some Doctor Who episodes or something. I think I heard that.
I don't know. Doctor Who sucks now.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know when. Maybe he directed a good one. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I think the one movie I know him from is Free Fire, which was kind of a quirky.
Oh, that was a weird
shoot 'em
That was
up,
a weird freaking movie.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest movie, but I liked the style of it. So I'm hoping he can. With a better script,
it was a weird. The whole thing about it was like,
What,
I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine a world where that was successful. Like, it's good.
I think it suffers from being on the same set for virtually the entire film.
That's probably what it is. It's probably setting fatigue and like it's probably really difficult to.
There are some great movies though that take place on one set.
Hateful Eight.
But those directors.
Yeah.
But the difference is those directors fucking earn the right to try that. They've done their hard time and they know how to properly break the rules. Like Quentin Tarantino, Joss Whedon. Like they can bless you. They know their craft so well that they can break those rules.
Right.
When you have new directors who think, oh, I'm going to do this because I'm being artsy and cool and rebellious, and then you just fuck it
Yeah,
up.
it just literally became like, well, we don't have to move the crew, so it's cheaper to be here. That's what it felt like.
Do you know why they said it in the 70s?
Why?
And so they don't have to explain away why they don't use their cell phones to get out of the warehouse. Well, one of the major plot points is them getting to a phone to try to contact the outside world, and in order just to get rid of this problem, they said, "We'll just make it in the 70s."
Isn't there a part 2 where there's a phone in the office somewhere and they hear it ring? And
yeah, that's what it is. Is they're all in a race? They're like, "Oh shit, we have contact. We can whoever gets to their phone first can get their outside gang in and have the whole problem solved." And it's like, that's why they didn't send it in modern day.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
And they actually ran over that guy's head.
They ran over.
I think I told you.
Oh yeah, they flat. It was a.
They took
It was
the
a
air
foam.
out of
It was
the
a
tire.
foam. I thought it was just foam.
They took the air out of the tire
They
and then weighted the opposite corner, like with a bunch of weights, so the van wouldn't like tip. And they ran over his head. His head was like in like a little divot, I think. And then they
Fuck that. I ain't
Fuck
fucking doing
that. The insurance policy. I would not even as so much as the actor, as that actor's family. I would want the biggest fucking insurance policy on that scene alone. Because I'd be like, okay, you're gonna do this, where you're gonna die. Like, there's no, like, I hope they give you an Oscar after your death because that's fucked
up. What's weird is like I don't think a lot of people were expecting a sequel. It did gross $275 million worldwide, which was pretty good given its budget.
Wait, how much did it gross?
275.
Really?
Yeah.
That is way more than I thought it would have.
That's what I mean. So it's
holy shit.
In comparison, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone expected a
What was
sequel.
the budget? Probably 60
quickly
to
look it
90
up.
million, if I had to guess.
Just give me a second here.
I want to know why these video game movies don't do well.
Because those
They're not
games,
given the proper creative.
yeah,
people.
and they're really made for long form, like super. They're designed to be drawn out.
No, but I think if you gave Tarantino a video game script, it'd be great.
But
they
I
always give
also
it-
don't think Tarantino's video game movie would be like it would be barely a video game movie.
Yeah.
Like
that's
it would
probably
be it would
true.
be in name only. Like that's it.
But my greater point though is that the studios don't trust video game movies because they don't have a history of making money. So they give it to some random director that they can pay cheap, who doesn't get that great of a cast, and then they just produce it. And they're like hoping it takes off, but they're not putting a lot of money on that bet. You know what I mean?
Like Michael Fassbender.
Ugh.
He doesn't. You know, I realize he doesn't make good movies. He's in very few good movies that I would consider good.
Inglourious Bastards and
Inglourious Basterds,
Steve
that's it.
Jobs, probably.
I haven't seen it. The only other one that I would say is maybe Days of Future Past, but that's also
good.
I haven't seen that. That's
good
only
one,
from word of mouth, and that's also in a massive ensemble cast. So, but like, these are a lot of bad movies.
He was in Macbeth too, wasn't he? Which was the director who did Assassin's Creed.
That's probably why I got casted.
I mean-
Assassin's Creed was horrendous.
So the budget for Tomb Raider, according to Wikipedia,
90
is
million?
90 to 106.
Fuck yeah!
Do you remember that scene where she like slides and then the blade goes over her head
Yeah.
and it looked like shit?
Yeah.
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 I'll remember that forever, I think.
It wasn't the worst movie though.
It wasn't the worst movie, yeah.
It was better than Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it was way better than Assassin's Creed.
I would not watch Assassin's Creed again. I own the Tomb Raider movie. So
Leap of faith.
yeah,
That was
nasty.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
The Animus was dumb too.
Yep. But they needed to make it more cinematic.
We could literally
you
do an
need to
entire
see
episode
them.
about all the problems with Assassin's Creed movie.
Here's the problem though, because I legitimately think they chose that weird Animus to make it more cinematic. So you have him actually jumping around and fighting and stuff.
I remember Michael Fassbender in an interview saying that he's like, they did it only because they wanted to make it more actiony.
But the Matrix, they sit in chairs and get plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And then show the past. Why
And
don't they show the damn
No
past?
one was like, this needs to be more cinematic. No, the cool stuff happens in the Animus, not just them sitting there. So it was all wrong.
Too bad the Matrix is dumb because they fly with ships
and
through sewers.
And you want to know something?
Oh lordy, man!
You want to know something? That Assassin's Creed movie is canonical with the games. They're part of the same universe.
I mean, is anyone really paying attention to the Assassin's Creed universe?
No, but
It's just a hodgepodge of different stuff happening. No one really
Watch
knows.
Dogs is in there too.
I've watched several explaining videos on YouTube, and I still don't know what's going on.
What, in Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Damn it.
For the most part, yeah.
I understand the timelines.
The
I don't
Crusades.
understand what's really going on.
I get it all the
Eden.
way until Origins.
I don't even. Not even.
Odyssey was the first Assassin's Creed game I understood what was going on.
Even the future stuff.
There's not much future
Which
stuff
one
left
was
in
first,
Assassin's Creed.
Odyssey or
Oh, okay.
Origins?
Origins was first.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
And I think the weird part was that Odyssey takes place before Origins.
Yeah, that's right.
It is not the first time they've gone back. Like every game had gone forward in the timeline. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was the first one that jumped back before the one before it.
Yes, but Origins you would think is the first thing,
Yeah.
and it's not. But if you play the game, it's the origins of the Assassin's Creed.
Of the Brotherhood.
Yeah. But events have taken place before it.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Direct had a pretty big showing.
I couldn't be bothered to put each individual thing.
I put the thing in there too.
Yeah.
I didn't even sparse it out or anything.
The whole I went. I'm like, there's one link. It's like, here's everything you need to know about Nintendo. Like, perfect.
Yeah.
Just throw it in there.
Overwatch for Switch.
Fuck yeah.
Which means no Overwatch 2 soon.
No, that's not true.
No.
Unless this was. See, here's the thing. Remember, there was a while ago that there were game job postings for Blizzard for
Mobile,
first person.
right?
No, not mobile. There were other ones for mobile, but there was another one for dedicated first person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And people thought that this was after Overwatch had already launched, and people thought that was maybe about a year and a half ago. People thought that was a new IP that Blizzard was also working on.
Okay.
I have a feeling that, in hindsight, is now them developing for a scaled down hardware.
I mean, Overwatch was their first new IP in a while, wasn't it?
Hmm?
Overwatch was Blizzard's first new IP in a while.
I think before that was technically Heroes of the Storm, but that's also them borrowing from a bunch of shit, so of their own stuff.
SNES games are coming to Switch as well, and I think they announced a wireless SNES controller. Are you excited for that? Are you getting that?
If I get a Switch, yeah. Here's the thing: if I get a Switch, I'd probably exclusively leave it at my office so I can play it at work.
Damn it!
I'm just gonna kind of fly through these ones. Xenoblade Chronicles Remake, Luigi's Mansion 3, Super Kirby Clash, Trials of Mana, Return of Obra Dinn,
Very popular game apparently.
Little Town Hero and Game Freak's new game. Smash Bros. Ultimate adds Banjo and Kazooie.
I could have sworn that they were already added. Like, I thought if you had asked me 6 months ago, I'm like, oh yeah, they're in there.
Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that they were already in there.
I didn't really think it.
Because
I don't know.
Because it was Microsoft had to sign off on the.
Right.
Because they own those.
Because of Rare, yeah.
Doom 64.
Oh yeah, I saw Bethesda tweet that. I think.
Come on, StarCraft 64.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. That was a shocker.
And
Jesus,
I'm pretty
why?
sure Jedi Academy's in there too. I'm pretty sure they're doing 2 of them.
I just sold Ryan on a Switch.
Not in my list. No, I already own that game. So,
I thought you were about to say I already own a Switch. I was like, what?
yeah.
I it may not be on the list, but I'm pretty sure they all post that. They also announced Jedi Academy's in there as well.
It would be weird not to have Jedi Academy.
That is the end of the Kyle Katarn story. Yeah, that's a
But
character.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
The game's not even canon anymore.
No, not canon.
It's useless to me.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. A lot of good reasons to own a Switch. I might get one.
I might get one as well.
Would you get a Switch Lite?
I would exclusively get a Switch Lite.
I'm debating whether or not to.
I like the idea of
It's so
having
much
the option to
cheaper.
dock.
It's so much cheaper that it's like,
Okay.
I should get it.
Let me bring this home for you.
Okay.
Okay. A, you get a legitimate D-pad. You don't.
That doesn't bother me too much. I'm not a big
All right,
D-pad
let's
guy.
move on then. Point B. It is cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. Point C, you don't have to worry about the wireless issues of your Joy-Cons.
They've apparently fixed that though, haven't they?
It would be wired in. Why would they even have wireless in there? It would be wired right into the board. So you don't even have to. It's not even a fact.
No, I mean, haven't they fixed the wireless issues with the Joy-Cons?
Yeah, but if you go buy one now, you still might get one of the old packs that haven't been issued, that haven't been fixed. They're not going to pull them off the shelf.
No. But if I'm buying a new Switch in the new
like
red
the new
box,
battery one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
I don't really need more than. I'm not gonna be playing Wii with you guys or Switch down here with you guys, am I?
You guys want to play Heave Ho?
And Matt has
that
his
game?
own. He can bring it over. We can go up to the roof.
Fucking.
Yeah.
You guys want to play Heave Ho? That game's supposed to be pretty.
The hell
fun.
is that?
It's a 4-player couch co-op to the same vein of Overcooked.
I'll do it.
But you have to. We have to collectively try to get from one place to the other, but they throw a bunch of obstacles in the way. Apparently, it's really fun.
I love the chaos.
Yeah.
I'll never forget throwing the whole pack of Kraft single slices on the cooker and Overcooked and broke the cooker, so we were down the cooker.
Such a good fucking game. The first time I played that game, I'm like, this is an instant classic.
Yeah.
This is so like just the epiphany that somebody had to develop that game.
All right, Destiny.
Did you guys go in and merge your fucking accounts and do this?
I got an email saying something about how, you remember how Destiny was free, Destiny 2 was free on Battle.net?
Mm-hmm.
I got an email with something about, I only read like a part of the subject. It was like, oh, it's moving platforms or something. I was like, okay, I don't care.
You had a deadline to go in and lock down your accounts, but apparently you can unlink them. I'm not even too sure about what the deadline is.
I'm done with Destiny, I think.
Yeah, same here.
What was it though? What did you have to do?
So you pretty much go in and you go in and say, hey, look, I have these set of characters on Xbox, these ones on PC, and these ones on PlayStation. Then you say, I want this set of characters to be my flagship set. Those set of characters then will take over all versions of the game you have. And then from there on out, you can then you load onto any system and it's all there. It's literally cross. I'm not going to say cross-play because cross-play suggests that you and I can play across systems. I don't think that's the case. It's cross-inventory, I guess. It's literally cross-management.
Cross-save.
Cross-save, yeah, exactly. And then apparently you can choose to undo it later. You can actually unlink it, say I want to send these characters back to PlayStation exclusively, and then I want to make these guys my master ones. So you can actually keep on undoing it and doing it back in.
That's kind of cool.
Here's the craziest part.
Screw up at one time? It's going to screw up at some point, and then just all your characters dead. Or they merge into one character. And
well, Jesus.
so this is what somebody figured out is you can, let's say you've never played it on Xbox, but you played it on PlayStation. You can go in, and let's say you finished it and you plateaued it, whatever. You platinumed it. You finished everything. You go in, you say, okay, the PlayStation characters are my characters now, and it's gonna bring them across all of them. You then go and install the Xbox version. You boot it in. Let's say you're at the end of the game. Guess what happens? Your 1,000 gamer trophies immediately trigger, and they come flooding in.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Hmm.
see now you're it. I figured you'd be interested. Yeah. So if you have a character that far in and you bring it over to the Xbox one, you launch it up, and you just get your 1,000.
You just get all your trophies.
You just get your trophies.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Now you're thinking about it, huh?
I'm not gonna do it. I don't care enough. Matt, we got 7 minutes. Let's do your Query Corner question.
Yeah, so it's a continuation of last week's.
What was last week's? Remind me.
So last week's was like the question debate. I don't really know what you'd call it, about control and that type of thing.
You're talking about the value compared to length and scale of a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had a question where, so you know how we have like a rolling collection now. Let's just say it's a norm. So like Xbox Game Pass is kind of like becoming like a norm where you sign up for like a subscription service and then you get like a rolling thing like Netflix, like a rolling library. Now, some games are out of that library. Control, as far as I know, is one of them, and other AAA titles that come out wouldn't be one of them for a while, if ever.
Mm-hmm. So you say Control is part of that library?
No, I'm saying it isn't. Let's just assume it isn't. I don't think it is.
It's not. Exactly.
Okay. So my question is with that being said, with games that are linear, that are a one play only, do you think because they're digitally distributed, we could potentially see renting come back? And they would actually make a decent amount of money from that. Because a lot of people would be like, $8 for the weekend or something. I'll play that.
Your pricing would have to be pinpoint precise in order for that. And I'm telling you now, $8 for the weekend is way too much.
That's what it
Really?
used to be.
That
That's
is
what it used to be, man.
way too much.
It used to be $4 a day.
Yeah, but here's the thing: for $8 to rent Control for a weekend, but it's also part of the bigger. But like, why $8 for the weekend when I can pay $2 more and get it for the month for 28 more days, and then just cancel before I leave?
Wait, what do you mean?
If it's part of a bigger subscription,
No, he's saying it's not. So I think let me set up the scenario here.
If you're saying if it's not part of a subscription, but you want to, if it's not part of a subscription, but you want to rent it.
I'm saying that,
Yeah.
like, let's say Control comes out, you're like, this is a one player.
Yeah.
This is a one, like I'm only going to play it once.
Yeah.
It's a one-time play. And it's not under any sort of PlayStation Now, Xbox Game Pass, nothing. It's not available on any of those rotating libraries. And you don't want to pay $80, but you're like, I'm going to play this weekend, and I just have the weekend off, so I'm just going to play it all weekend and potentially beat it. My question is like, would they ever bring renting back? Because it's easier than ever, technically, to rent now.
They would have to pilot project one of the games because it'd be hard to know how many people are willing to rent it.
Yeah. Also, there's another problem is a lot of times if you're going to go and say, hey, I have it's Friday night and I have the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I want to play this game. You're going to be spending a good chunk of that time, especially with shitty internet, downloading that game. So it's like, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger on this. I want to rent this Friday night. I'm going to have it for 2 days. I have to be done with it by Sunday at 8 o'clock.
But
Problem is you're downloading it most of the time.
You could put in some sort of logistical thing in there, like what they do with movies, where you can rent it and then like let's say there's a sale on rentals, which happens, digital rentals. I could rent the movie and then there's a really long deadline before it expires. But then the instant I play it, I have 48 hours.
Yes, okay, but there's a difference though. Is 99% of the time I'm not downloading a movie. I can hit play and it's going to instantly stream.
Sure.
I'm talking about though, like if I say, hey, like me, for instance, I'm going to use because I work 2 jobs and I only ever give myself 1 day weekends.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have Sunday off.
Yeah.
And it's Saturday night. It's like I can only play this game Sunday and I want to play this game Sunday.
Yeah.
But I decide Saturday night I want to do it. I can't download that game in that time in order to enjoy it the full day Sunday.
Admittedly, though, the same goes with if you were to purchase a game.
But the thing is, though, when I purchase a game, I have as much time as I need.
I think that's what Matt was getting at with you could even set it up so you can preload it. So you rent it, it then preloads before launch, right? It's then ready for you day one or the 30-day period until you hit play.
Okay, but again, like if
and you could even say, like, oh, your time's running up. You have like 24 hours left to play to finish this game. Do you want to add more time?
Okay, but here's the thing:
There's $1 for another day or
I think you're missing. You guys are missing the point of that. Is renting is usually in the spur of the moment. You're not thinking about it 2 weeks. You're not thinking about it 2 days, 2 weeks ahead. It's shit. Like I'm just gonna browse this catalog for Saturday night. I want to play something.
Yeah.
I'm going to in that moment. It's like, okay, I want to now play Control. The system knows
it could be streaming the game though. Maybe it's a game streaming service, and then even then
a renting game streaming service.
So you're like, oh, I want like it'd be like a Netflix library, but for games. Like, it'd be like anything else.
But now it's just like, why not just get Stadia
exactly
or something?
Because you have to buy the game.
But what?
The whole point of this is for people that
you're talking about a very specific library where people want to play a game, they don't want to buy it, and it's not available on any sort of streaming,
just like used to happen
subscription service.
Just like used to happen years ago.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's exactly the same thing. Other than we didn't have streaming, but you could go to the store and just buy a movie.
So that fixes my timing problem, where I can just go to the store, I can buy it, I can bring it home, or rent it, I can bring home and play it. That fixes my need to download it, and that's what I'm saying is it could work, but your fucking pricing needs to be exact, and I think $8 for a weekend would be way too much.
I don't think that's too much.
I think that's right on.
I think you're looking at like maybe cut that in half, like a $4 range.
Then I don't think they would make money.
Because I think that people would end up buying. I think that some people would end up trying. Like more people would end up trying it. They might not even end up playing it. So then they're getting $8 from people. $8 from people that would never try it at all, and then there are some people that wouldn't finish it and then wouldn't want to then buy it, so then they would buy another weekend's worth. So now they're making $16 from that person.
At $8, at $8, I think that's.
How long do you think Xbox is going to keep their first-party titles free on Game Pass?
I think forever. Indefinitely. I think it's forever.
How do you make money off of that?
Because they always make money. Yeah. That's the point. They always make money. They never don't.
But so let's say 3 Xbox exclusives come out per year, and let's say I play all 3 of them, right? I make up the savings in one game, and I play the other 2 games effectively for free. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
how is that making more money than if I purchased all three?
Because they're not anticipating you, while you may not own, while you are only playing one game that you wanted to play and you're pretty much playing the other ones for free. There are people out there who are not paying or are paying for the service who are not playing any game.
So they're subsidizing my
it's
extra playing.
It's literally a numbers thing. It's get as many, and that's why they offer the $1 free month, three free months as much as possible, because they know once you're in there, you're just going to keep it. It happened with you. It happened with you. You went in for the free one and you never turned it off
because it was worth it.
Exactly. How many Xbox?
I don't see how it's worth it for them. Because I've now played Sea of Thieves and I'm going to be playing Gears, so that's 2 launch day $80 games.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean when you say the launch day ones.
Okay, let me phrase it like this: they're probably looking at the number of players, and they probably have a rough estimate of who would play those games only if they had Game Pass and if they hadn't at all. If Game Pass wasn't a thing, would you buy Sea of Thieves and would you buy Gears?
Well, since we were all going to play it, I probably would have gotten Sea of Thieves.
Okay, so there's.
But admittedly, we brought Sea of Thieves into the thing because of Game Pass. Like we didn't even. Like the reason why we considered it is because it was on Game Pass.
Well, I think we were looking at it before that, weren't we?
We were, but we looked at it. Then Game Pass came out. Then we're like, oh, there's Game Pass.
But Adriano actually bought it.
I bought it.
Yeah,
I bought it because it was on sale. I'm like, I would rather just buy. So think of it like that. If you didn't have Game Pass, you wouldn't be buying them at all. So to them, how many months have you been paying into it?
I don't know, more than 6 months at least.
There you go. For them, there's $10. There's at least $60 that they wouldn't have had otherwise. Because
I would have bought in Gears though. I would have bought Gears 5.
Okay, but that's it though, right?
I can see your point though with something like I can see them having trouble with, like how Spotify, for example, will like kind of struggles to make money sometimes.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that thing where. I can't remember whether it was a podcast or what it was, but there was a really interesting thing where they said tech companies do something really interesting where if they want to make money, they'll take $1, go out in the street and sell it for 10 cents. And they don't care that they lost it. They only care that they acquired a customer.
Yeah.
Because I guess I imagine that this is all introductory pricing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's low right now because they want to get as many subscribers locked in as possible. And then they'll start slowly creeping up the price.
They might just not start including AAA titles. They might just do the EA Access basic version, which is like a year later approximately.
I'm wondering if are there any EA games even on Game Pass?
That is a good question.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so, actually. Because that's part of because I bet you the agreement with EA Origin when they went to Xbox was that you can't put any of these titles in your own subscription service.
Because that would be weird.
It'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Because then then that's bullshit to the customer because essentially you're paying the same dollar for the game twice.
Right.
And that wouldn't sit well. But man, going back to the 10 cent for dollar thing, that is a principle which goes back to the oldest days of retail. When you flip through those flyers and you go into the store and you buy something on sale, most of the time retail services are losing money on that. When it's on sale for $24 from $49,
sure,
it costs a company $30 to get it into the store. They're losing $6.
Isn't like the goal of that though to be like, I don't know, you're selling a vacuum for a loss. So like I go in there and then I also buy the vacuum bags and a better extension cord, so then I'm making $16 where I wouldn't have made anything.
The accessories that you buy with it and the stuff you buy on the way out.
But the thing
that's a big risk, I would think. Isn't it?
That is a fairly large risk.
It's literally the staple of retail. That's the way it's been for fucking 70 years. It's worked. Like you walk through my Canadian Tire and you know those little wing panels, little things like $3, $4 here and there that people just grab. Those things make a shit ton. I wish I could print off the graphs and show you the numbers on those. Those things make a shit ton of money because those things are never on sale, and that's where we make our money.
I remember reading a story about how Amazon was going to have at your checkout thing, we throw in a pack of gum into the box, and then they ship it to you. I never saw that actually come to fruition, though.
They probably crunched the
numbers.
numbers.
Throwing a pack of gum.
Yeah.
So when you're in the cart and you're ready to hit checkout, it'll say, you can also just buy some gum or buy like some toothpaste or buy
it's
the
their
little stuff you would see at the front.
There's literally the equivalent of a cash lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never actually saw that.
They probably crunched the numbers and figured it wasn't worth it. Because a worker has to go and leave their little aisle. Like it's another number on a pad for a worker to come and already go and get that gum and put it into that same box. It probably wasn't worth it for that fucking 10 cents that they're making off it.
Yeah.
It's have you seen the day of an Amazon worker, like what they have to go through?
I heard it's pretty rough.
It's hell. Yeah, it's hell.
Literally horrible. It's just
someone from our college went and worked at Amazon.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And is she still there?
Nope, she actually left. I think she went somewhere else. It's one of the few Facebook posts I remember, like, it sticks up here. So she made her announcement that she's leaving Amazon. I'm just like, who are you? I barely remember you. But, oh man, making money in retail. And
but there's nothing like what would you make on the Xbox, like, other than the console sale? Like, you're not gonna be browsing Game Pass and then be like, oh, I guess I'll buy this. The only way I could see that is if you're in the middle of something, they pull it from the collection, and then you buy it. But that's not Xbox first party titles.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like the whole retail thing where we were saying, like, you buy the vacuum at a loss, and then you buy the extension cord and the vacuum bag, so then you're making profit on that. So now you've made a profit from a person you would never have made a profit from that day.
Yeah.
Well,
however, with the Game Pass, when is the figurative vacuum bag and extension cord being sold?
When they put forward the risk of the game being removed from the service and them offering you the game at a discount.
I also heard that DLC.
Yes.
And that DLC also gets you into the store where you then might see other things you want.
Yes.
And
hence
every
the
game
skins
has
and everything.
Every game has microtransactions too.
Damn
so.
them!
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck. That's how they're making their damn money.
Yeah, man. These capitalist geniuses, like they're all
pretty good.
It's all
pretty good
crafted. Like, yeah, and they because remember, things get pulled from Game Pass.
But
And
like
they,
not
and,
the first parties. But
not the first party, but there are other things. So they say because one of the things they say is you have Game Pass exclusive offers and discounts. Like, you can buy the game in which you're currently subscribing to for a discounted rate. So you can lock it in case it ever leaves. It's yours to keep.
I will hand it to Microsoft. Sea of Thieves could be a lot greasier than it is, and it's really not that greasy.
Yes, I think Rare though really negotiated that.
Because like
they're more like child friendly company too, right? So yeah.
I mean, that game isn't exactly child friendly though.
No. In its presentation,
it's hell. That game is hell.
No, but in terms of
presentation, it is.
Oh,
a lot of kids play it too.
Yeah.
I think.
In fucking social accountability, it's cutthroat.
I can't believe that fucking that the doubloons are not
brutal game.
Pirate's Life.
It's literally pirate. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's like, who's that? They're gonna come kill us. Oh shit! Here we go.
Like Ryan, just seeing a mast in the distance. Like,
it's
I
scary.
literally took it. I'm like,
it's your vision of the Division.
yeah, exactly.
The whole world is
exactly.
Is
it's exactly what I wanted from the Division.
Yeah.
But it made me take my gem, and I said, I am not risking the 3 hours we put into this. I literally found the quietest corner of an island in the middle of the ocean, and I fucking sat put. And I literally put down my controller, and I played Hearthstone while this guy got killed over and over again to get the ship back to me so we can turn this fucking mission.
And then fucking used a hurricane to get out of there. What
That's
a crazy,
amazing,
what a crazy fucking thing.
I said, if we fail this, or if we couldn't get past that boss, I'm like, I told Matt, I'm like, Ryan, we would have to come and recruit you and bring
Call
you back.
me up
call you,
and-
and like, we need a third guy.
Yeah,
because then when the guys show up, and we would just need to throw somebody to the wind.
Like, I do my update. I'll see you guys in 10 hours.
Oh my god, that was the only mission. That was the one with the stupid decoding, right? That was fucking infuriating.
Really
I've never been angrier.
Yeah,
because it was like, it'd be like walk northwest east 7 cave camp. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
There are basic decoding symbols that we had to use, and Matt and I figured out the message, but we could not find the fucking treasure. Like, the treasure was just not there. And we went here. We're like, are we at the wrong spot? And we figured out, it's like, no, it's like, this gotta be, this is a spot. This is a spot. And we go online, and apparently it's one of 7 random ones.
Wow.
But every single walkthrough, their reference one, like their example one, was the one that we didn't have. Like, we had, it seems we're the only 2 people in the entire world to get this fucking one. But finally, it's like, okay, we were trying to figure it out. It's like, because most of the walkthroughs are just like, oh, like, decode it. Get your message, decode your message, go find your treasure. It's like, that was their steps. It wasn't like, go to this tree, walk over here and do it. And finally, it was a random tree that I saw.
Yeah, you just saw a random tree.
Yeah, I'm like, I saw a random tree. I'm just like, this tree is too far away. Like, it's too in the open to like every other tree is always so close to a rock or they're close to the other set of trees. There's always a reason, a rhyme and reason to set up. And I noticed that there was just a tree here in the middle. It was too far out. I'm like, if this is a foot closer, maybe. But I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the tree section of this thing. And I'm like, I'm gonna start at this tree. I'm gonna treat this tree as this spot, and I'm gonna continue on the way. And I found the fucking treasure.
I've never been so relieved when I heard that little.
Yeah,
when we saw it, I was like,
heard,
holy fuck. We were on that. We were literally that was the second night we attempted it.
Yeah, you had to give up the first time.
I've never been so infuriated by that game.
The only danger with having the Division be entirely open world is we encountered those Terminators.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That? In Sea of Thieves, more or less, you're on the same footing with other players.
100%.
Your weapons, you got the same weapons, and they do the same amount of damage.
Yeah.
The Division, we'd be dead every time.
Yeah, there are other things to police or to self-police that they could have implemented. The way that I would have done it, again, it has to go back to my filter system.
I mean, there could have been an equalizer once you get into the Dark Zone, though.
There is kind of now.
Now
there is now, better, yeah. But there wasn't back then, though. But like, did I ever explain to you what the filtering system was in the Division?
Like there was the filters 1 through 4, but once you got the filter 4, you just forgot about it.
It didn't mean anything. Like it literally meant fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's like it created a problem because it's like now I have this piece of equipment that I'm going to constantly look at and maybe upgrade, but doesn't actually fucking do anything. Likewise, I also have this money that I'm not doing anything with, and that doesn't mean anything because they keep on adding guns to the world that I keep on selling, that I keep on increasing my bank account, but there's nothing to do with it. So what they should have done was you should have used that in-game currency to buy playtime. And what you should have done was the entire world is an open server, and any place in that game that isn't your base of operations or safe house is poisonous. And you say, oh, we're going on for 4 hours, we need to buy 4 hours of playtime. So we're going to buy a 4-hour filter. And we need to make sure we're back in a safe house or we're back in our base of operations by the end of that 4 hours. Okay? And if you don't use it all, it doesn't matter. Like you're not getting that money back and your filter drains away. Marty comes on. He's like, I can only be here for 2 hours. So he only needs to buy 2 hours of a filter. And then what that does, that gives our in-game currency a real-life purpose. Like it gives an in-game purpose. And that helps them balance the economy because then they can adjust the prices of the filter based on how much money's on the servers. It's like, oh, there's 60 million collectively here. Well, these filters now cost $100,000 for an hour. And that way they can dial back they can literally make an economy system.
That'd be cool. And then you'd have like
and then what
an
you
easy
do
zone with like no price.
What you do is, as a rogue, you cannot update that filter. You cannot get in a base at all. That puts a time limit as if you want those Terminator people, they know their 4 hours are going to be up, and they know that their time's going to run out because once their filter runs out, they can't live anymore, and they can't get into a base to get new filters, and that is how you handle that. I should fucking develop it.
I have a weird.
Tell Aaron.
Tell Aaron.
Yeah.
He's listening to this.
This is off topic, but in Sea of Thieves, once you finish all the challenges, how the hell do you get more doubloons? Because you can't buy them.
I don't think you're meant to get more doubloons.
But like, there's some missions that'll be like, oh, you need to pay. Like new missions come out or whatever, and it's like you need to pay X doubloons.
But aren't there like other commendations that like get them? Like you can get like sitting.
I thought it was just certain challenges. I don't know.
I thought like just sitting on the thrones and all the thrones.
But like, what if you did all that?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's weird.
All right, that's all the time we got. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking the podcast. See you guys.
What was this, a Facebook ad?
Yeah.
Thanks for like, comment, and subscribe. Peace!